Hi, Dan. I have learned Deputy Mark Longway leaves behind a wife, 2 grown daughters, recently becoming a grandfather. He died right in the middle of this intersection just as he was getting off work for the day. I spoke with his fellow deputies. They tell me they are still trying to wrap their minds around this tragic loss. Wedged underneath a semi-truck, this is how we lost a man dedicated to serving others.
He served his country first, and then he came to serve the people of Hillsborough County. And it was a better place with him in it.
Deputy Mark Longway had just finished his midnight shift assigned to the port when he collided with this semi at Florida Avenue and Scott Street. All but the back end of his cruiser mashed under the truck. The impact so horrific, it took 5 hours to remove his body in the mangled cruiser.
He was always that positive guy, that he loved the job, always, 100 miles an hour to help people.
Both of these deputies worked at the port with Deputy Longway. They tell us he was a proud husband, father, and grandfather, and served 21 years in the military before joining the sheriff's office. Just as it reads on the back of his cruiser, protect and serve, Longway's fellow deputies say that is what he came to work to do every day.
Very enthusiastic, very positive. That's what I see the most about him when I met him. Just very happy to be here.
I tell you the truth, I couldn't put it in words. I've been doing this for 15 years, and it's always worse when it's somebody you know, especially a guy who's served this country for 21 years and has worked here for a number of years, and to go out that way, for me, it just seems senseless.
Investigators are still trying to figure out if it was Deputy Longway or the semi-truck driver who ran a red light, likely causing this deadly accident. The driver of that semi-truck is okay, the only known surviving witness to this accident. And the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is asking if you were in this area of Florida and Scott around 5 a.m. this morning, if you heard anything or saw anything, please call them. I want to send it over to my colleague now, Carson Chambers, picking up our live team coverage. And Carson, as you heard from his fellow deputies, Mark Longway loved his job, and he has also been recognized for his hard work.
He had, Ashley. He had been recognized several times during his career here at HCSO. 48-year-old Deputy Longway actually served on the Homeland and Port Securities Division. He had been with HCSO for 6 years, since 2004, but he had very strong local ties. We want to tell you about those. He was actually a graduate of Hillsborough High School, graduated back in 1980. As you heard Ashley say, he has a wife and 2 grown daughters, both of which live in Texas, and he had recently become a grandfather. We also know Deputy Longway served in the Air Force for 21 years, served our country for 21 years, serving part of that time in Afghanistan. We also learned that he'd been honored by the North Tampa Chamber of Commerce. The story goes that he actually stopped a burglary in process, apprehended 2 suspects who had broken into a location up in Northdale. And according to his personnel file, back in April of 2009, this is a bright spot in his career, he actually saved a man's life with the help of a fellow corporal. Both of those deputies climbed up to the roof of a building over on Fletcher Avenue and were able to get a guy who was going to jump off that building, who had threatened to jump off that building. They gave him a drink of water as he sat down. They talked him away from the edge. So they actually saved a man's life back in 2009. Now, as you can see here live at HCSO, we're down in Ybor City. The flag is at half staff. The sheriff has ordered it to be so. And all deputies here at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office will be wearing a black armband until further notice. Live in Tampa, I'm Carson Chambers, ABC Action News.